Hey everybody, Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard. It's once again time for me to talk about long-running franchises. Way back, many years ago, I did the top 10 third movies in a franchise, and I've been doing one of these every year since last year, of course, ending with the top 10 eighth movies in a franchise. So that means we're finally here, we're at a big one, the top 10 ninth movies in a franchise. And I actually found 26 franchises that made it to the ninth movies. I'm going to tell you right now, I had to sift through some crap to get some top 10s here, so some of these may not be the best movies. But let's get into it, the top 10 ninth movies in a franchise. A couple rules before we get into this. I'm doing this chronologically, not canonically, meaning I'm going with when the movie came out, not where it takes place in said franchise. Hopefully that makes sense. The other rule is these are the best ninth movies compared to other ninth movies. They may not be the best movies, but compared to the other ninth movies and franchises, they're pretty good. So that's where we're going with this. So let's get into it.
Number 10, Wonder Woman 1984.
And this one hits my second rule pretty hard. The ninth movie in the DCEU franchise, Wonder Woman felt like a little bit of a dud. I didn't hate it as much as most people, but it's definitely not even in my top like 4 of that franchise. It's got some good stuff. Pedro Pascal's always awesome. It kind of had a fun, fantastical element to it, but in the end, it really was a bit of a dud. But again, compared to some ninth movies in this list that I found, it's pretty good. So we're just going to give it at that. It barely makes it onto this list, so congratulations, Wonder Woman.
Think about finally having everything you always wanted.
Number 9, F9.
So another one that I didn't hate as much as other people is F9. It got a lot of lambasting, and not a lot of people really enjoyed it as much as the others, but I tell you what, if you bought into some of the stupidness that happened prior to this movie, this is no different. This is still just big, dumb action fun, and I enjoyed it. There's some goofiness. It does get a little meta. It's not my favorite, but I enjoyed it. It's just big, stupid, fun movies, and that's what Fast and Furious is. And that's what I took it as, and that's why I was able to enjoy it. I'm curious where they go with Fast 10 after this, but we'll see where it goes.
Life, you pushed yourself to be faster than Dom, smarter than Dom, stronger than Dom. But could you kill him? Because I'm ready if you are.
Number 8, XMen Apocalypse.
So I feel like I'm saying this a lot, but not one I hated as much as other people. Yes, this one had some major problems. It misused a lot of mutants. It made them all wear the same uniforms again. Apocalypse wasn't Apocalypse. It wasn't a very good Apocalypse. But I thought the stuff with Magneto was really cool and interesting. I thought kind of seeing the early days of the school being built up was kind of fun. I liked that. And I liked the Wolverine cameo in this. I loved seeing him as Weapon X. Maybe they didn't end it the proper way, but it was still fun. It had some fun moments to this. But yeah, it was alright.
I've never felt power like this before.
Number 7, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010.
Now this is the one I'm gonna get a lot of hate for, and I'm used to it because I liked the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I thought the new Freddy was really creepy and scary. I thought the look of it was really creepy and scary, and I really liked how the kids looked really tired. In previous Nightmare on Elm Street movies, the kids just they're made up. They still look pretty, but this one they all look greasy and gross and tired, and I really like that. I like the dream sequences. Overall, this was a really good remake, and I don't think it gets the credit that it deserves. Yeah, definitely give it another chance if you can, but I really enjoyed the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Never sleep again.
Number 6. Destroy all monsters.
Now we're on to the oldest movie in this list. Destroy All Monsters is the 9th Godzilla movie, and it was actually supposed to be the initial end of Godzilla movies, so they threw everything at it. Just this big giant monster battle at the end is really awesome, but this is one that you have to sit through a lot of stupid human stuff first, and then wait till you get the monster battles at the end. The human stuff in this one, it really wasn't all that interesting, so that's why it's a little bit lower on this list, but I do love seeing this big giant monster battle at the end. It's a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it.
From the laboratories and arsenals of all civilized nations, the most powerful, the newest, the most devastating of weapons blast into action in their effort to destroy all monsters.
Number 5. Star Trek Insurrection.
Once again, I didn't hate this one as much as most people. I actually really liked this movie. It's maybe not my favorite Star Trek Next Gen movie, but I think it was really good. I think it was a good way to take things. It felt really interesting, and I just love seeing these characters, so I'm probably a little nostalgic, but I really love this version of Star Trek. I like seeing the idea that there's like this planet that keeps you young forever, and people of course wanting to take that, and even the Federation wanting to getting into stealing this like forever young power, because that's what would happen if there was like some magical fountain of youth. Everyone would be trying to get their hands on it and figuring out what they could do with it. So I thought that was really cool and interesting. No, it wasn't the biggest, most interesting Star Trek, not even the biggest, most interesting Star Trek Next Gen movie, but I still say it's very solid.
We are participating in the outright theft of a world.
They were never meant to be immortal.
Who the hell are we to determine the next course of evolution for this people?
Ready.
Number 4. Spiral.
So I think Saw is on a really good track right now. Jigsaw before this one was really awesome, and I enjoyed Spiral. It had some really creepy traps, some really great effects. Darren Lynn Bousman, who directed 2, 3, and 4, comes back to direct this one, and I thought it was really awesome. I actually liked what Chris Rock added to it, adding a little bit of a comedic effect to it, but it's not a funny movie. It's still a horror movie, but he's able to give out some really fun one-liners, and I thought that was really cool, and I liked how they tie this into the whole franchise as a whole, and make it so it's like kind of like this cult of Jigsaw. All these people are now following in his footsteps, trying to do what he did, and it's really interesting, and I'm curious if or when they do something else with Saw, where that's gonna go. But I really like the last 2 Saw movies, and I hope they keep making them.
Jigsaw copycat.
This is gonna go sideways fast.
Number 3. Captain America, The Winter Soldier.
Okay, this is a big one. After the Avengers came out, which was a big success, Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe was actually pretty weak. Iron Man 3 really didn't win people over critically. Thor: The Dark World, everyone sees as kind of the worst MCU movie. I don't really agree with that, but I can see where that comes from. So, like, a lot of people at this point were thinking, like, after Avengers, what's Marvel gonna do? Like, they've already hit the pinnacle, and now it's just these weird solo movies, and just wait for another Avengers movie. But Captain America comes in, and this is the first MCU movie directed by the Russo brothers, and they freaking kill it. This takes the idea of Captain America, turns it on its head, makes it a political thriller, which is really awesome. It has some really good intrigue. It takes stuff from the comics like the Winter Soldier and what happened to Bucky, and also brings in the Falcon, but grounds them in like a reality. And even though like this is this big bombastic world where we've already seen aliens and magic portals and stuff, but still makes this grounded, interesting, deep, intricate political thriller, was really awesome, and I really loved it, and it really made people take Captain America really serious and really enjoy his movies. And again, this is the start of the Russo brothers, who did all the best MCU movies, and I love it, and I still love it to today.
Thought the punishment usually came after the crime.
S.H.I.E.L.D. takes the world as it is, not as we'd like it to be.
This isn't freedom. This is fear.
Number 2, War for the Planet of the Apes.
There is no reason why prequels to a schlocky B sci-fi movie from the 60s are this good. Why are they this good? I don't know, but I'm here for it. I was actually very, very late to the Planet of the Apes trilogy. I didn't think it would be anything, so I skipped it. And I finally recently got to it, and it's freaking awesome. And I've loved that trilogy, and this is actually my favorite of that trilogy. This goes so hard, and it's so awesome. And just everything that's happened to Caesar kind of builds up in this movie, and I really loved it. It was really interesting. And I'm very curious, because Disney now owns Planet of the Apes, what they're going to do after this. And they have said they have plans for more Apes movies, so I'm curious where it goes from here. But this is really freaking good. I really loved it. And, I hope we get some more Ape movies.
I did not start this war. But I will finish it.
Number 1, Rogue One.
So this is a Star Wars movie that does not get the recognition it truly deserves. This is the prequel that people wanted 1, 2, and 3 to be. I know a lot of people may not agree with me on this, but you know what? I really, really liked Rogue One. I thought it was a really cool way to build up the characters. It was really interesting to see the rebellion, where they're like taking like strong ends to like justify their means, and just seeing like there's not everyone in this rah happy attitude. You get people like Jin who are like, fuck your rebellion, I'm just gonna do what I want. But finally, like getting into it, seeing why the Death Star had that like really big problem that they're able to exploit in the very first movie was fun. But this is just like this dark, grubby universe. It's the first like you really get to see that, and I really liked it, and it really made you fall in love with these characters, even though they're gonna die at the end. But it was really cool. I'm interested to see, they talked about doing some prequel series based around some of these characters, so I'm curious to see where that goes from there. But yeah, it's got Jin, who's my favorite Star Wars character, and K2SO, who's my favorite Star Wars droid. I just love this movie. It does not get the credit it truly deserves, and it is absolutely the best 9th movie in a franchise.
The captain says you are a friend. I will not kill you.
Thanks.
So there we go, the top 10 ninth movies in a franchise. What'd you think? Let me know in those comments below. Is there any I left off? Is there any that I missed labeled? Let me know what you think down in those comments, and give me a big old thumbs up. But I'm Sexy Matt the Pharaoh Wizard. Until next time, hold on to your hold slots.